Have you gone outside today?
Yes, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
the wind.
I think some of the shingles have come off of my roof. So
That's fun.
If they're on top of the garage, not that big of a deal. If I can't see where they came from the garage, I'm gonna have to call the landlord and be like, or get Mikey to call the landlord and be like, hey man, can you send like a roofer over to come check our shit so that
This is good, by the way.
we don't fucking. I had it. I don't like it.
It's like a little. It's got a little bit more sweetness than a regular.
Well, because it's apple juice.
It's not apple juice.
It's supposed to be apple juice.
It's literally not.
Yeah, it is.
It's sparkling water with just made from tree sap.
Yeah. Where's apple juice from?
Apples.
What?
It's closer to like syrup, which is also made from tree sap.
What? I thought that came from apples.
Yeah, a maple tree drops maples, and that's where you get maple syrup from.
Yeah. So anyways, did you hear that Nancy Reagan was the throat goat 9000?
I did hear about this.
Do you know why? Did you look into it?
Because she sucked everybody's dick in Hollywood.
But it was also because classical Abby, aka Abby Shapiro, little Benny's sister.
That's who that is.
Yeah.
Who posted that. She was like, would you rather be Nancy Reagan or...
it was like, look, this is Madonna at 63, and she's got, like, her tits out. She's had, like, tons of plastic surgery done.
But she looks great.
People called her it said it was the yassification of Madonna.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and then here's Nancy Reagan at 64, and she's like, oh, I'm
Old
surrounded
with,
by
like,
my
a bunch of
family.
kids.
But it's like, yeah, but this, like, half-naked 63-year-old woman was like, I stand up for people who are dying of AIDS.
And yeah, and
Nancy Reagan is like, I stand by while I let people die.
I literally let up 2 or 3 people who are personal friends of mine die of AIDS.
Yeah.
Also, here's a really good answer. One of these 2 people is still alive.
Which ones?
Madonna.
Oh yeah, too. Yeah. Well, they also born at different times. It's not like it's not like Nancy Reagan would have been 64 this year. Also, she died in 2015, I think.
Nancy Reagan?
Yeah.
Damn.
And Mr. T put out a tweet in 2016 that was like, damn, missing my good friend Nancy Reagan on this day, what a loss. And then people were posting like that Jim Halpert like office meme where he's like looking through the fucking like blinds like, oh, I know. Because everyone's been doing conjecture, and it's like Nancy Reagan sucked the shit out of Mr. T's cock.
Maybe.
Good for Mr. T.
Honestly, better for Nancy Reagan than Mr. T at that point.
Probably. I don't know. Maybe she was that good.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, definitely Mr. T is fucking down more than she is fucking upwards. And she's up fucking upwards, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Most people would rather fuck Mr. T.
Probably.
I think...
Black don't crack.
Also, just like... A, well, not a corpse, but B, just a better looking man. Anyway, Madonna looks great. I don't necessarily think I would still be doing weird tits out shit at 64, but you do you, girl.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck. Do what you want. You think you're rich, you're successful, you're talented, you're well respected in your industry. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You're 64 years old.
I feel like as Madonna keeps getting older and older, though, people start to go like, yeah, you had some bangers in the 80s, but honestly, we wish you'd kind of shut up now.
Sure. But also, she's 64. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. She's rich. Like, you do you, Madonna. I don't give a fuck. It's not really any of my business. As far as I'm aware, you're not really harmful to anybody.
Except for... Well, actually, I've heard multiple different takes on the Britney Spears kiss thing.
Oh, because she kissed Britney Spears?
Yeah, where people told the story that Britney was uncomfortable with it, but then they also said no, Britney was intentionally doing it because it was like the whole I'm not a child thing anymore.
Yeah, like the whole thing with like
period.
How Britney Spears was being managed, especially like when she was still on like 17 or so, they were still doing lots of weird sexualized stuff with her. Yeah. So it's hard to say about that, but arguably you could say that Madonna was just as beholden to the producers and stuff and like didn't necessarily know whether or not Britney was okay with it on account of like it was a setup thing.
And also we on the Media Hole podcast hate Drake.
That's true. We are anti-Drake.
But Madonna did like assault Drake on stage one time.
Oh, that's not chill.
They were like.
Now here's the thing. Now we've got to determine what's a worse crime. Wait, physically assault or sexually assault Drake?
I will tell the story.
Okay.
I don't know why Drake was on stage. I don't know if they were performing together or he just happened to be there and she called him up on stage. It looked like she was like giving him a lap dance, but then like towards the end of like her singing, she like pulled his head back and like shoved her tongue in his mouth. And Drake is clearly like, "Whoa, no thank you."
Okay.
So, but like, you know.
All right, Drake be texting underage girls. So I'm gonna say Madonna looks better out of that one.
I'm just saying Madonna. That's the thing. That's a thing that Madonna did that was bad.
I would say
but
that's
we hate
bad.
Drake.
I would say I hate Drake more.
Yeah.
On account of he be texting Millie Bobby Brown.
Mm-hmm. And various other 17-year-olds that he ends up dating.
Yeah. Which is not great.
Yeah, but like, you know, he's that's what rappers have.
But
been
he's
doing
from Toronto. Let's go 6.
Oh, he doesn't totally fuck up an entire street constantly.
Oh,
like, he's from Toronto. He's only here for 6 months out of the year.
Maximum.
Yeah, maximum for sure.
Yeah.
If it as soon as like little fucking it gets like below 10 degrees, Drake is like, all right, I'm off to California.
And to be fair, I would too.
I like. No,
I would too. Were I Drake, and had the money to do that.
If I had the money, I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Because you personally enjoy snow.
I don't. It's not that I enjoy snow. It's that I enjoy. I think that when you have constant nice weather, like nice hot heat weather, where it's like, ooh, a t-shirt is like all
Cool.
I need.
Yeah.
And I can wear jeans or I can wear shorts. It's up to me, and I won't feel super bad. But like when you go to when you have nice weather all year long, it's no longer nice. It's just the weather. You got to have some bad to appreciate the good. And also, we live in southern Ontario, below the 100th meridian. If like you're above it, good. Yeah, I would. If you were from Winnipeg, understandable. Also, if you have the money to have a home in California, leave Winnipeg.
Yeah.
But like down here, it's not that bad. It doesn't snow that much.
It gets really rainy. You'll get some really fucking nasty days out here.
Like today.
Well, today it's more the wind. Honestly, it's like this morning it was beautiful out. It was plus 16 and sunny.
Yeah.
All the snow's melted. But you know,
when I dropped Blake and them off in Toronto last night, it was like hotter in Toronto than it was here.
It's always harder in Toronto.
Yeah, I know.
Because you get the radiation off the building, like not literal radiation, like heat radiation.
Yeah. And then the lake's there.
Yeah, also the water is helpful.
Yeah. Gives you a nice warm breeze.
The thing I always talk about when I talk about the 2 of the 3 cities in Canada worth visiting, the comparison between Toronto and Montreal.
2 of the 3. So Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver.
Yeah.
I would say Banff. Banff's not a city, actually.
Yeah. And also, like, if you're Canadian, you go to Banff. If you're like American, you'd go to Colorado.
Yeah.
Right. Same. It's like
Actually, that's the thing.
deal.
Is Colorado and Banff aren't. Or
they're not close.
Denver.
They're Denver or whatever. You can go.
Denver
skiing.
is Calgary. You'd have to go to Estes Park or something if you wanted like the same equivalent.
Yeah, like
Banff.
it's like if you want to ski and shit.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like it's like, you know, you probably go
There's
to
also
Denver.
various other like spots along because the Rockies is like goes from BC down to like California.
That's true.
Or like edge, like California's on the other edge.
The very North California.
Yeah.
But like
you have a lot of mountain.
There's a lot of mountain. But anyway, my comparison is like a lot of people talk about the way cities smell, and you know, a lot of urban areas do smell bad. That's just a fact.
There's a lot of sewage going through there.
That's just shit
Rats
happening.
are everywhere.
But what I always say is, Toronto smells really awful when it rains. It's like, it's horrible. It smells like absolute garbage. But Montreal smells worse, but it's passive. It always smells kind of bad in Montreal.
Yeah.
But they don't have like the effect of like rain equals like.
Yeah, that's because it's surrounded by
it's
water.
So it's like Montreal always smells kind of like shit, whereas Toronto smells like fine most of the time, and then when it rains, it smells like absolute shit. So that's my comparison. Would you rather have like, critical hit days spread out between like mostly normal days, or would you rather have a passive AoE?
Probably critical hit days, to be honest.
But a passive AoE you could get used to.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Well, Ian, it wouldn't matter for you anyways because you don't have a nose. It's all plastic.
Correct. It's all plastic.
Yeah, Ian blew out his nose doing too much coke in the 80s, so now he had to get a fake one. It's a thing people had to do.
I'm aware. All right, you want to talk about the news?
Let's talk about the news. Let's talk about like a real quick bummer. So George Perez, influential comic book artist, responsible for the creation of the new Teen Titans. He did the art for two of the most important comic book storylines, which is Crisis on Infinite Earths and the Infinity Gauntlet. He created Thanos' snap. He did the snap in the comic back in 91. Like, super important guy, also responsible because he wrote and drew Wonder Woman and made her related to Greek mythology instead of its own thing in the 80s. Hugely important artist, and yeah, he has less than a year left. So like, I don't know. Just like you, I really want to point out he's did a lot of great works, and maybe go out and check out some of his stuff if you're like a comic book person. Like, check out the new Teen Titans because they're great. Check out, the classics sometimes. But then also next up, this is a funny story that I really wanted to talk about. So, an indie game developer says that the company Kalashnikov stole their weapon design and turned it into a real shotgun.
Kalashnikov, famous for making the AK-47.
Exactly. So this is, by the way, I'm using this article from Kotaku, written by Luke Plunkett. And so this is no shit against Luke Plunkett or Kotaku, but I want you to pay attention to like what's not being said in this article. So the game dev called Ward B, they're developing an upcoming FPS called Oceanic. Essentially what happened is they had early last year, they were contacted by Kalashnikov to use one of the weapon designs, a shotgun called the Mastodon, and turn it into a real gun for Kalashnikov. Now, Ward B said they were promised full credit, including a logo on the weapon. And so, but the deal fell through. But 3 prototypes were even sent to their office.
Are you sure you read that correctly? I just read through it. It doesn't say they were promised that 3 of them would be sent to their office with the deal, but they never got it.
Okay, maybe I just was scrolling too fast. But anyway, you can see 2 pictures of 2 guns here. One's the gun from the game, the other is the real life gun. They look very similar. There is a certain L-shaped thing on it that's the same. And the Kalashnikov said that the indie game's tentative funding and payment structures meant there was no clear ownership of the weapon designs, so they worked with another designer from Russia instead. Ward B sent a C&D to Kalashnikov. So there's this whole thing about it, and then, interestingly, the Kalashnikov version of the weapon has been licensed out to be in a video game that's Russian that's already out called Escape from Tarkov. So Ward B's gun design is in another video game before it's in Ward B's video game. Hey, so lots of weird shit about this. Now, Ian, I'd love to ask you, what's not being said in this article?
I have no idea.
Okay,
I literally don't know where you were going with that.
So here's my question: why are we using real guns and real gun designs made by real gun companies in video games?
Why not?
Why are we licensing out real gun designs to pay weapons manufacturers more money to put their guns in video games and advertise them to children and adults?
Same reason why there's cars in video games.
Yeah, but people tend not to intentionally be killed by cars.
Literally everyone who makes video games with guns, you're literally doing the Fox News thing right now, actually.
I'm not actually.
No, you are, because you're saying that why are we using real guns in video games it will lead to real guns being used by real people.
I'm just saying it supports the weapons industry, which is a fucked up bad industry. I guess so is the video game industry, but I feel like the weapons industry is a lot more, I don't know, unethical. Isn't that the entire point of the feature film Iron Man? That weapon manufacturing bad?
Batman as well. The Dark Knight ones.
I thought the Batman the Dark Knight ones is like weapons manufacturing is good actually, and we should tap everyone's phone to do the Patriot Act.
That was how Batman ends, but his whole thing is that the reason why they're trying to kick him out of the company is because he doesn't want the Wayne Foundation to keep making guns and weapons. But he's still like, yeah, but I'm going to use them all for myself.
We can make rocket launchers, though. So that's fine. The
game dev here designed a gun.
Yeah.
And then
that's fine.
Kalashnikov came to them and said, we would like to own, to use
we would like to turn this design into a real gun, and we'll put a little Ward
B symbol on
which
it.
Which I would also argue is kind of like also trying to market weapons to people to like.
Sure, but also and they also said that they were making a shotgun. The shotgun they ended up making, which they stole the design from Ward B, is they go like it's supposed to feel like a video game weapon, a future video game weapon.
Ooh. When you shoot people with this gun, it's fun like a video game.
The difference is that when the Ward B selling their design is an indie dev going like, wow, we can make some fucking fat stacks to continue making our video game.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't think that's bad.
Kalashnikov not showing up.
I would say
using the design anyways because they are Russian and we don't know where Ward B is based.
It's also Russian.
Okay. It's just Kalashnikov having government contracts and saying you cannot do anything about this.
Well, I would say that the flaw here is not that Kalashnikov stole the weapon, which is like not great. But I would say, like, the thing that's not being mentioned, like, I don't think Kalashnikov is good for stealing a weapon design. That also sucks. It's just, like, also, maybe we shouldn't be using, like, brand name, doing product placement for real weapons. Like product placement for Coca-Cola is not great. But people don't
really look at guns in video games as a product placement, and then even then when you have something like...
Right, but people don't think of it like that,
even when you have something like GTA 5, which didn't want to pay for the licensing and have the names for the guns, so they just use basic names like the assault carbine, the combat carbine, or the combat rifle, shit like that. People still look at that type of gun. If people are gun enthusiasts, they look at the guns and go, I want that. Yeah. It doesn't matter if they get the name already. It's like the same thing with cars. It's like... people look at GTA cars and go like, wow, that's sick. I wonder what it is in real life. And you can go to a wiki and it tells you. It doesn't matter if they use the real name or not. People who want it will go get it. Me knowing that the name of an AK-47 is an AK-47 doesn't mean I'm going to go buy it.
Right, but I don't know. I think
if I was to own a gun, though.
I think that, like, I'm personally, like, I think people get really up in arms about product placement for, like, Coca-Cola and shit, but, like, nobody really talks about this form of product placement, which I would argue is, like, not great. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying Call of Duty makes kids violent, but, like, if Call of Duty having a real gun sponsored content in it and a kid, which is, like, who plays Call of Duty? Straight up, it's kids. Like, we're not... It's M-rated, but you and me both know it's fucking, like, 14-year-olds.
I saw this funny-ass clip where this guy was playing Warzone, and he kills someone, and you can hear a little kid voice going, Dad, he's up there! And he's like, oh, he's playing with his dad, that's so sweet! And then he kills the other guy, he goes like, fuck you!
That's great.
No mercy here, motherfucker!
Right, but you know what I mean. Like, it's like, why do we need to... You know, I think there's an entire conversation also to be had about, like, why is it that violence causes lower ratings on things than sex or nudity, which are both less bad.
Halo Infinite's a rated T game.
Right. And it's like you do murders in that.
Yeah, but it's murders of aliens.
And there's no titties, which titties, there
is no titties in Infinite.
Yeah, right. That's
Less than there is in Halo 1 to 4 or 5.
Yeah, right. But, like, that's what I'm saying, right?
Not
it's
5,
like,
actually.
It's like titties, like, with nipple. Whoa. You can't see that. You're a child. It's like, I don't know if you know this, but that bitch was sucking on titties only a short number of years ago.
And also, titties aren't inherently...
They're not offensive.
That's not the sexual
It's not going to be
woman.
traumatic to see a titty. Like, it's not going to traumatize you. Violence is fucked up. Like, it's bad to do and have, right? Mm. But that anybody can see.
For real, though, titties, great. Awesome.
Nobody dislikes
Makes
them.
me horny.
Sure.
I definitely look at them as sexy objects. Mm-hmm. They are not inherently sex objects, though.
Yeah.
It's like me looking at the shape of a woman's hips. Should we censor hips now? No. If a woman wears shorts, I'm not even talking short shorts. I'm just saying if I sit, like, up to here.
Yeah.
Which is, like, now just normal woman shorts at the time, because now short shorts go up, like, a bit too high. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you fucking down to here? I'm hard. You put a woman in a pencil skirt? Oh boy.
Right, but like, people being naked or even like sexual without actively seeing the act of sex happening is not worse than violence. It's just weird that it's rated as like worse than violence.
If we didn't care about seeing titties as much, because like the reason
in Europe you can see titties on advertisements.
I know, but the reason why like us as Westerners,
it's because the Puritans,
far Westerners, where our countries were created by Puritans, or America was created by Puritans, and then Canada just got the leftovers of them. So you get fucking assholes going like, you can't see tits, you can't see vagina, you can actually see cock more likely than tits and vagina, like. And like that affects the rating less because haha penises are funny and vaginas are gross horrible things that sex happens to.
Yes.
So it's just awful that they do that.
Anyway,
I'm just saying man can get horny for anything, but if we saw tits more often, we wouldn't get like tits
as horny.
Wouldn't be that big of a deal. We probably would, but
like, we get slightly less horny.
It would still be like, ooh, nice, but it wouldn't be like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We wouldn't jizz in our pants.
OnlyFans would be doing... girls on OnlyFans who only do topless pics would have less subs.
True.
Yeah, you were like...
But there'd be more people doing it because it'd be less, like, societal.
The market would be saturated.
It would be more saturated, so they'd be making less money, but there'd be more of it.
And then we'd see cooler porn.
We would see cooler porn, for sure. And we'd see, like...
Here's the filthiest parts of a human's body in terms to rate it up.
Asshole.
I was literally going to end there, actually.
Here's the filthiest parts
I was going to be like,
body.
Tits on a man, totally cool. Tits on a woman, should be cool. Penis, somehow better than vagina. Vagina, apparently horribly filthy. Asshole, where you're never going to see it.
Yeah. My second thing was inside of the mouth.
Inside of the mouth.
The inside of the mouth is the
if you're in Japan, it's armpits.
If you bite a person, if a human being bites you, it's more toxic than if a dog bites you.
Yeah.
Cats, on the other hand, that's like a sewer. The inside of a cat's mouth.
Yeah.
That's why they smell like fucking anal fissures.
And they get them quite often, also.
Yep.
Because they poop weird.
And they've got barbed dicks.
Just to make it less fun. So anyways, video games. I guess don't use gun names anymore.
Yeah, I think as far as I'm concerned, you're paying money to license it out that you don't need to pay money for, and B, you're arguably promoting an industry worse than the game industry.
Yeah.
And I think the game industry is right to take a stand about harassment in the workplace. And then follow that up with ads for Riot Games and Quantic Dream. That's actually good. That's good, actually.
Yeah.
It's actually fine to say, I don't know, have an advertisement for like a person who is like a person of color talking about trying to make it in the game industry and intentionally editing that clip shorter to have more ads.
Yeah.
That's totally chill, actually.
So before we get into that topic, though.
Yeah.
Just let's go to the other short one. Netflix has canceled Cowboy Bebop.
I think people are celebrating this, and I'm like, now it's just a fucking fully unfinished bad thing, and it'll always be bad.
Yeah.
They could have pulled it together on season 2, made a finale, and like made it work, but now it'll always be unfinished and bad.
And now for people who like
were good with it, like enjoyed it for what it was, and didn't like have to have it be this other thing.
So Justin Wong
Yeah.
Famous man involved in Evo Moment 37.
Is it 37? I always forget the number.
It's either 37 or 38.
Okay.
But I think it's 37.
It's such a good moment. Every time you see that video, you're like...
Justin Wong, after the cancellation of Cowboy Bebop, made a Twitter post where he said that the live-action show is better than the anime because the anime is mostly filler.
It's a good thing that Justin Wong's job is to play video games good and not be, I don't know, a writer or critic.
Yes. And
he's totally entitled to that opinion.
I guess he enjoyed that in the Netflix show they focus more on Spike in his relationship to the Foundation or whatever the fuck they're called, the Syndicate. And like that's it. Like that's the overall arc. Like there's a syndicate.
It has more of an overarching plot and is less episodic.
Yeah, because they wrote it knowing like
they wrote it for the binge model.
Yeah, and it's stupid, and that's a dumb thing to say. And someone tweeted back to him, or someone on FGC Salt posting on Facebook said Justin deserves to dream about Evo Moment 37 every single time he closes his eyes. And then Justin Wong of Twitch,
yeah,
like the man who, like Justin Wong of fighting games, his @ is JJ Wong.
Yeah.
Justin Wong of like Twitch his name is Justin Wong.
Yeah.
And he just said he sent him a link and he's like, here's an application to change your name. I don't want to be associated with you anymore.
That's funny.
Yeah, so honestly there was good parts of this show that's just not written that well.
Sure, yeah. Like again, like I'm saying, I'm not saying the show's good. It's probably shit, but it could have been a finished product that is its own piece of art that satisfied the people who did enjoy it and like or made up for its flaws in its first half.
Yeah, like unfortunately though,
and now it'll never be a finished thing.
Unfortunately, you know what sucks? The biggest problem of the Cowboy Bebop live action, is what they did to Faye.
Yeah.
Like, and that sucks because now
they could have fixed it.
Now we get to be like, there's the fucking assholes who like complain about woke Disney shit.
Yeah,
they're going like woke Faye Valentine is the reason why John Cho and that other black dude couldn't fucking keep their jobs, and it's like, shut up.
That's not the only bad thing. Honestly, the worst thing is like from what I've heard is like completely misunderstanding the themes of Cowboy Bebop, which is ultimately the worst part.
Yeah, it's like completely misunderstanding.
So
one of the things
I was reading is like Jet's backstory is that he's the only non-crooked cop on the force, right? And he gets betrayed by his partner in the anime, right? Yeah. He's the only non-crooked cop. In the live action show, it's just his partner that's crooked. It's not explained that like, oh no, this like system of bribery and whatever is like inherent to this police force, which is like ultimately taking a thing that supposedly by making it by making it like more for adults, like, right? But supposedly they're trying to do that by making it live action, but like they've taken away nuance and like criticism of systems from this thing to make it less adult.
Yeah.
Right?
Are you blackmailing me? Well, you're black and a male.
Okay, that's like one of those things where it's like I could wake up every day and see that joke and one day think it's cringe and one day think it's funny and like just have it infinitely repeat.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? like it's totally whatever mood you're in, like that's a good joke or that's like the dumbest thing in the fucking world.
Yeah. Anyways, bad show. Could have been better if instead of people trying to rewrite the show to be like different, decided to just literally make a live action adaptation of an already good thing.
Yeah, or like, you know, did something they like simultaneously. It's exactly what I was saying with the trailer that I was worried about is like they've in some ways played it way too close to the original, and in other ways changed it way too much to make something that just like
changing
fully
way too
does
much
not
is
work.
most of the like they do the episodic.
It's like all the but it's
stuff.
like all the same stories, right? If they'd have done a like, hey, here's like essentially 6 episodes of Cowboy Bebop that like could have happened anywhere in the show and could potentially be canon, right? Like if they just done like, here's a bunch of new adventures with the same cast and don't even touch the same thing.
Or they literally could have just like, why did they have to show Faye joining the crew? She could have, if they really wanted to, they could have just dropped her in. They could have just been like, they're already a crew together. Mm-hmm. And then like, you do the first 12 episodes and they're all the episodic ones that don't involve Ed. Mm-hmm. And then the finale is you bring in Ed, but dear God, rein it the fuck back. Because even Ed is not like that in the anime. Mm-hmm. Like, it feels like that's like a cosplayer, like acting as Ed.
It's frustrating because all the actors do a good job, and like, there's like clearly a lot of people with talent working on this show. Like, the set design, fucking incredible.
Yeah.
They did a great job. Mm-hmm. Like, and it's just like, so people celebrating this, I'm like, there's a lot of really talented, like, hardworking people on this fucking thing that are now out of a job, which sucks.
Netflix poured like half a billion in it.
Of course,
like,
right?
It's all
like,
gone.
It's frustrating. Like, this show sure shouldn't have been made, but also we shouldn't celebrate its cancellation because I don't know, it feels wrong too. Mm-hmm. You know?
It was an artistic failure.
It was an artistic failure, and it's like sad.
But also, for all we know, that it was written differently. Yeah. And then there was like a corporate guy who kept coming in and being like, no,
who knows what happened, right? Was it a thing where the writers and producers were embarrassed of making a thing based on a cartoon, so it has these things that are like weirdly don't fit? Mm-hmm. Was it that like the writers and like creators like fundamentally didn't get Cowboy Bebop, or was it that like for all the things that happened and all the things they wanted to do, this was the thing that they ended up having to make that they compromised on?
Was it a bunch of writers who didn't care much for the original source materials, like surrounding one writer who did, and then a Netflix exec walking in, throwing down like the episode they wanted to do, and they're like, rewrite all these episodes, remove all that anime bullshit from it, which then makes the show just like
have moments lifeless. That are too anime and moments that are not anime enough.
Yeah,
like,
oh, we can have fucking, we'll add in this syndicate scene in the first episode of the guy high on red eye fucking killing everybody, but then also still taking damage instead of just, like, being superhuman. But let's remove the fucking part where him and Spike have the fucking scene where Spike's fighting him in a poncho and a sombrero.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what?
Which is, like, again, the best scene in that episode.
Also,
like,
they're in space Tijuana. Yeah. Like, it's not, like, Cowboy Bebop isn't deep.
Well, like, Cowboy Bebop gets to be both and work as an anime because it's
episodes, but then like this fucking
thing that's successful about Cowboy Bebop is, but even like in the first episode, is there are moments of Cowboy Bebop that are like legitimately great dramatic moments and moments that are like ridiculous and awesome and fun, and neither of those things feel like they cancel each other out.
And there's a bunch in the very first episode.
Exactly, right?
Yeah. With like the joke about like where fucking Jet is like, dinner's up. It's bell peppers and beef.
Yeah,
and then Spike's like eating it, and he's like, "There's no beef." There's no line like that at all. They don't watch the fucking like show that tells you when like
they do in one of the episodes.
In one of the episodes, but that's in the very first episode. Yeah. That's how they find out about the first bounty. Mm-hmm. But in this one, they find out about it because a guy that Jet used to work with, that hates him, like, just for some reason tosses him a bone and is just like, yeah, here's your
guy.
Here's a guy that you can go get.
Like, one of the things that I like in the original series is like there's that running storyline where like that show gets canceled, and the guy who doing the fake voice, like you see him in one of the episodes in an airport, like with a normal voice on the phone talking about how he lost his job on the TV show. And you're like, oh yeah, this is like a world full of like people that is like, has a bunch of problems, and like all of these human beings are human beings.
Yeah.
And like, that's interesting. Again, like Cowboy Bebop is an anime that's really for and about adults. And you're like, yeah. But, like, the show, I don't know, didn't capture that.
Also, John Cho, not going to say anything about his acting. I think this was totally a problem on the direction. Mm-hmm. Too down all the time. Like, too depressed sounding. Spike doesn't feel like he makes, like, a single joke, and when he does, it falls very flat. It's very monotone. Like, you know, Spike in the fucking movie, when he fights the woman, he's like, I love a woman that could kick my ass. But he's, like, smiling while he says it. John Cho... If the director of Cowboy Bebop, the live-action show, gave that line to John Cho, he would be like, all right, read it. And John Cho would be like, okay, well, this is how I read every other Spike line. He's like, I love the kind of woman that could kick my ass, and the guy would be like, "Great, awesome."
Have you seen that guy
Glad
who
you
does
didn't
the
smile
dub?
at all.
Did you see that guy that does the dub? Did the read up of it where it's like, I love a woman who could just fucking kill
Yeah.
me, like throw me down, like I'm talking real. It's
Does
so
a really
funny.
good Steve Bloom impression.
He does it so good.
Yeah, I love the kind of woman that would just fucking eviscerate me, just
Yeah.
absolutely murder me, just take
And then,
my head
and then it
crush
cuts outside, and you just hear like muffled the rest of it. It's
Yeah.
so funny.
It just keeps going.
Yeah, oh, it's such a good fucking clip.
Yeah.
It's like all those great Duke Nukem dubs. Of memes.
Yeah.
It's stuff where it's like, I'm here to gum.
There was a really good one that I watched.
I'm here to-
recently. I'm gonna look through my history to find it.
I'm here to chew ass and kick gum, and I'm all out of gum.
Damn, I can't. It's not showing
I'm
up.
Duke Nuke them.
I'm Duke Nuke them. Fuck, man, fuck my YouTube history. Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways,
So let's talk about the TGAs.
the TBBBs.
The
All right. So
Thirsty Suitors. Hell yeah.
there was stuff that you missed.
I went back and saw it.
All of it, or just the P4?
No, I saw. I thought it was Thirsty Suitors. Thirsty Suitors.
Thirsty Suitors was in the main show. I'm talking pre-show.
Oh, I didn't watch the pre-show, but there was the concert, right? By Virtuoso Neo Media, they had like 2 mellow. And shit.
I missed that part. What I came into was Telltale is making an Amazon series game.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's
The
not.
Expanse, I think.
Yeah, The Expanse is a show that's on Amazon, but it's based on a series of books.
Yeah. So this is, but I think they had Amazon in the like advertisement for this. So
okay.
I think it's using actors from the show. It's the Walking Dead games.
Yeah,
Going to be for The Expanse. They showed off more Babylon Fall.
Okay, I missed that, but yeah,
It doesn't look great.
it's a live service. Game.
There was a new Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak trailer. Mm-hmm. They showed off a new monster. It just looks like a thicker version of a Toby Kadachi.
Okay.
And it looks like we're leaving the Japanese to go hang out with the French.
Oh, interesting.
Then Thirsty Suitors showed up in the pre-show.
Okay, that game looks cool.
See, I knew we were going to disagree on this. I literally said this to Stevie when we were watching.
You're like, Nathan's gonna want.
Nathan's going to think this is a cool looking game, and I think it looks like ass.
It's like Scott Pilgrim, but you're an Indian
Oh,
girl.
everyone got that.
It's Scott Pilgrim, but you're an Indian girl, and you can do skateboarding.
Yeah, of course I'm watching it with a few. I went in my Discord.
I showed you a
after.
clip of that game because it didn't have a name last time I heard about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we watched. I showed it to a bunch of like my Discord after I showed them the highlights because I wanted to rewatch some of the trailers, and someone was like, "This feels racist."
No, he's
and I was
Indian.
like, "But that's the thing." And I'm like, "This feels racist because it feels like a bunch of Indian stereotypes. If this was made by a white guy, absolutely, but it's not. So it's
Yeah.
actually just fine."
Yeah, I was like, this feels exactly like something a second generation Indian person would make.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure it's going to be fun or whatever, but the art style reminds me of, like, Y2K.
A game that I also liked, but I know everybody
Did you
else
ever
hates.
finish it?
I didn't beat it, no.
That game, I watched Anthony play through that game 1,000 times because he was speedrunning it for a minute.
Yeah.
He found a lot of tech, and we started calling it, like, naming the techs he found out after him. Mm. Because it was, like, actually some, like, really good, like, sequence-breaking stuff. But I know like the whole story of that fucking game. I think it's so stupid.
I liked the first couple levels, but I also
it goes really like crazy. Like,
I saw a bunch of people criticize it for like being partly inspired by the Elisa Lam thing, and I'm like, but the Elisa Lam thing is interesting, and it doesn't actually say it's her, and it's like has different details. It's not literally talking about Elisa Lam. Mm-hmm. Like,
it's just that in like towards the second half of the game it gets really confusing and really like multiple dimension time travel bullshit that's like explained very poorly. And also everyone just hates Alex because Alex is a giant piece of shit.
Yeah.
There's a part where Alex says to Rory, he's like, "Rory, no one gives a fuck about your dead sister right now," like in the game.
But he's supposed to be a piece of shit.
But like it's just it doesn't do. It's not. He's not redeemable in any way. But the game constantly is sitting there going like, he's an asshole, but he's like a Scott Pilgrim asshole. And he's like, no, he's actually just an asshole. So, anyways, I don't think Thirsty Studios looks that great. But I'm sure this will have an audience that people will love.
Again,
love it.
Yeek is the kind of Yeek is weird enough that I liked it. So, and I
called it Yeek, and you called it, and you were like, "You idiot! It's Y2K."
Ian, I think of it as Yeek now because you said that.
It's better.
I do.
In
love
my Discord, we just call it Yik.
Oh, I like Yeek better.
Yeah, because there's 2 eyes.
Yeah, but yeah.
So then there was a trailer for Evil West.
Was that the same as the Weird West game that was announced a year or so ago? No, I think it's supposed to be Evil Dead, but in a Wild West scenario. Okay.
And it looks kind of like a looks like it's trying to be like Devil May Cry sort of action game, but definitely feels more like God of War PS4 action game where it's like a lot more grounded and shit.
Okay.
So it's like probably it looks good.
That's cool.
It looks good. It doesn't look good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the graphics are really nice. Is what
Okay.
Then there was another game called.
Because I like stuff in like a Weird West setting. Like I love that shit. Like I would like if we played more tabletop RPGs, like I would absolutely get one that's like a Wild West, but with like weird stuff.
Yeah.
Like Undead Nightmare and Red Dead Redemption. Like it's cool to mix like the sort of like aliens and like zombies and whatever with Western stuff because it's like fun.
Yeah, it was Undead Nightmare is just literally them going like, we're gonna have fun with this.
Hell yeah!
And also, I think that introduced Bigfoot into the game. Bigfoot is in the game.
You can hunt all the Bigfoots.
Yeah, and then on the last one, you find out you were just killing this one Bigfoot's family and making them go extinct. So then they showed off this game called Have a Nice Death, and I think this game, it looks like all right for what it is.
Yeah,
it's a 2D action adventure game, like hack and slide, like kind of fucking Hollow Knight-esque.
Yeah.
A little more bright. But the concept of the game is you are death. You are in charge. You are death. You are in charge of death. But death is a corporation, and your lower level employees just don't appreciate you, so you go on a killing spree and kill them all.
Oh.
And it's like, are we really trying to...
Why did we have to be the boss?
Yeah.
Couldn't we be one of the lowest?
Exactly.
And kill the people above us?
The messaging of the game is not good.
Yeah, I don't love that.
There was a game called Planet of Lana, but really it was just a girl sitting on top of like a robot that ran her across the desert while a bunch of other robots wanted to come kill her or whatever. There's no gameplay. This was just a first look sort of thing.
That sounds familiar, though. I think we might have seen one other trailer for that.
It sounded like this was a brand new take.
Okay.
But I think it's just that
because there was
concept has been done 1,000 times.
Yeah, but I love a good robots.
Yeah,
big fan.
And then we got Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. It's finally playable.
Heck yeah, or at least it's going to be on PC, Switch, and PS4.
It's playable on modern consoles.
Yeah, because
where like it was only
the most recent version of it was Vita, and the most playable version of it was 360 or PS3.
Yeah, and it's like if you don't have either of those, and if you didn't get a physical copy.
Yeah, then you can't play.
Fucked,
and the online's down on those now, right? So
yeah, that game, because it is Arc System Works and Atlas, they better fucking launch that game with the rollback netcode.
I don't know if they will.
Well, because they just discovered that literally it happened again with Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. Well, not Cross Tag Battle, but Central Fiction.
Yeah.
The actual mainline Blaze Blue title.
Yeah, the most recent one, yeah.
They just recently updated rollback netcode into it.
That's fucking cool.
The player rate went up by 3,000%.
I know they put netcode into. This isn't ArcSys, but the like remastering an old game and putting netcode rollback netcode in started really like a couple years ago with Garo Mark of the Wolves.
Yeah.
Which is the last Fatal Fury game.
Mm-hmm. It's just they need to like at least since it is an Arc System Works game, there's a chance that they'll do rollback netcode in it.
Yeah.
Other devs need to realize though that rollback netcode is like actually the most important part. Thing.
Does KOF, the new one coming out, is it going to have rollback?
No one knows.
I would.
It's like yes or no.
You think it would? Because again, they re-released Garo with rollback.
Yeah,
and that's a game for the Neo Geo whatever.
It's a different dev. I was about to say Virtua Fighter 6 or like
VF5.
VF5 Ultimate Showdown that didn't come out with rollback, but that's also a different dev. So
yeah, because that's RGG Studios.
Yeah, which is Sega, and Sega owns Atlas, but P4AU is being made with fucking by Arc System
it's
Works,
Arxis,
which
yeah.
is not which is no longer Sega, but
yeah.
All right, so then the official show started.
Okay, wait, that was before the actual show?
Yeah, it was like kind of how they dropped the Persona fucking 4 news last year, like right before the show and everything.
No, that happened during that showcase. It's just it leaked before.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Because for some reason, whoever flicked the switch to put it on the store shelves did it at the start of the PC gaming show and not at the announcement of Persona 4 Golden on Steam.
Mm. So the official show started, and Sting was there.
Sting?
Sting.
Like the musical artist?
The musical artist.
Okay.
He did a full performance. He was like the opening act.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was. And I'm sitting there watching with Stevie, and I'm just like, was Sting in a video game this year? And he was like, no.
Has Sting ever been in a video game?
Probably, like a long ass time ago.
Like I'm not talking about a Sting song. Like I'm talking about Sting.
Okay. Then no, I don't think so.
Like I'm sure Every Breath You Take is in a video game.
Yeah, it's probably he probably has other songs in like any like there's been five GTA games that have radio stations.
There's been like 8 million GTA clones.
Yeah, that too.
And I include games I like and games I don't among those.
Yeah, so then we got Jeff Keighley just doing his whole spiel.
Hey, I'm Jeff Keighley.
Hey, I'm Jeff Keighley. We don't like it. This is it. He did his thing where he's like, this is the show for the developers. Mm-hmm. It's made to recognize the devs. You know, pretty much saying, if you're publisher bad, we're not going to ignore you, sort of thing. Where it's like, hey, maybe Jeff, you should.
I'm Jeff Keighley, and I'm saying at home, if someone in your workplace is acting sus, maybe you should call a meeting with HR and get them ejected.
But then, most of the time, it's like when you call a meeting against Chris when we play Among Us, and Chris, it being the abuser in this situation, turns around and says, "Nah, it wasn't me. I think that's on you, buddy." And then you get ejected by HR. So they immediately went in and did Best Indie Game.
Oh, of course, because they're the least important.
Yeah, and it was kind of Bridge of Spirits.
Really? That one Best Indie? That's surprising.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's like a AAA indie game.
Well, it's, yeah, I would say more so that it's just kind of not that great.
Yeah, there was a lot of effort put into it, but it's just an okay game.
Yeah.
Then they showed off, this is when I messaged you, is during the Hellblade 2 stuff.
So I didn't watch the Hellblade 2 stuff because I haven't finished the first one.
Oh, here's the thing. They called it a gameplay trailer?
No gameplay?
Oh, I'm sure that was gameplay.
Oh, it doesn't look like gameplay?
Hallway where you press X every once in a while to throw something. But you can tell when it skips from cutscene to like actual controlling.
Yeah.
But it looks like there is no options. There's nothing you can do. There's no way to speed up the process. It is truly a hallway that is just like, it's like, walk to this destination. Your camera turns around for you, and you're given an item, and you just have to press a button to throw it. It doesn't matter if you miss because it's just going to keep going. It's like nothing to do, but it's, gameplay. And it was like 7 to 8 minutes long. It was fucking boring. It literally made me hate the series. I was interested in playing the first Hellblade, and then that came to the trailer. I was like, shut up.
It's Hellblade has like the same quality of combat as like, not the same quality, but like has good combat in it. Like I don't know why they decided to show like not good. I'm sure Hellblade 2 is going to be good. Like it's weird that they chose to show like a boring part of the video game.
It's definitely supposed to look exciting because it's like a big battle with like the rest of the tribe. And
I think straight up, and like this is funny because this is a game I'm also not at all invested in, but Horizon Forbidden West, all their current gameplay trailers have had gameplay being done by Suni Legend on Twitter.
Yeah.
And like they look awesome.
Yeah,
because he's great. Like they hired the right guy. Yeah. Like do that.
Literally
everybody else.
A guy whose whole thing was just taking Monster Hunter clips and like Nier Automata clips and editing them to make them look cooler.
Yeah.
Or like also he gets like really good timing on like moves. Like my favorite one he's ever done was him starting up the like spinning hammer attack in Monster Hunter World, and as like a monster is like diving at him, I think it's Diablos,
Yeah.
He does the finisher of it, which is a big swing, and he fucking hits the Diablos in the face. And he set it up perfectly where he was at, like, the knockdown threshold. So he hits him, and he, like, it goes, like, diving forward and then flying back. And it's like, he, like, slows down at the moment of impact. It's literally hitbox porn.
Yeah, like, he's just a guy who, like, uses, I guess, good camera hacks and shit.
Actually, a lot of them, it's not camera hacks. It's that he uses the camera as far out as possible.
Oh.
And then he does zooms himself. Like, that's how he does camera magic shit.
Yeah.
Is that he is controlling the camera from far away, but then zooms in. So that it looks like a custom camera hack.
Hell yeah.
Then there is games where he does, like, do camera hacks. But most of the time, it's just him doing his own personal zooms and, like, attention stuff.
But, like, you know, again, like... Hire this man. Nintendo, hire this man.
Nintendo. Yeah, get him in there for some Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak fucking like gameplay trailers. Then we got the fucking game that literally had a lot of people pop off and then get depressed.
Star Wars Eclipse.
Star Wars Eclipse.
Star Wars Eclipse.
You're watching and you're like, holy shit, this looks amazing.
Awesome.
What is this game?
Quantic Dream.
Ah!
And it's like, it's funny because I did the same thing, and then I was in the shower the following day, and I was like, I'll probably still buy Star Wars Eclipse because I've bought every other Quantic Dream game because they're ridiculous. And it's like, I'm also saying that I think it's bad that Disney gave David Cage money. I think it's bad that Game Awards gave David Cage attention. He's a person who publicly said all women are whores.
In my video games, all women are whores.
Yes. Which is like, hey, not good.
Literally, I read like a whole thing.
There's so many.
Also, asking in court if he's like, I'm not under oath, can I lie?
That wasn't him, that was a different person.
No, it was so, okay, yeah, maybe it
but
was.
He did say that something is for F slurs.
Yeah, so literally just go look up like David Quantic Dream like lawsuit shit.
Extremely bad dude. I do enjoy Quantic Dream games, because they tend to look gorgeous, like straight up.
The game looked great,
visually gorgeous. All of them are really top tier, but also, like, he is just such a fucking ridiculous weirdo, and I want to see what Disney's going to let him get away with.
I think it would be really interesting if this wasn't even like a Quantic Dream game.
I would play this if it wasn't a Quantic Dream game.
I
would prefer it to not be a Quantic Dream game.
If it comes out and it's just like Detroit Become Human, but it's in like Star Wars worlds and shit, I'm just not gonna play it.
I'll probably play it just because, again,
I'll watch like a streamer.
I want to laugh at it. Detroit Become Human has like really good parts and then tons of parts that's fucking awful. But like enjoyable. It's still enjoyable. That's why it sold well.
Yeah. So then after that, we got they showed off. Twitch does their like Twitch Spotlight thing, or Game Awards Spotlight, where they like show off some marginalized people.
And right, They showed off a few of these.
They started with drag queens this year.
Yeah.
Which is like cool. Obviously, my favorite thing to do when these happen, I did it multiple times during the show.
Yeah.
Is I leave the full screen and I go stare at Twitch chat while these are playing.
I know Twitch chat's better because I saw YouTube.
There is still like some bad shit, but Jesus, there is some bangers of jokes in there that come up.
Okay, I've told you I catch glimpses of YouTube at parts like this and just want to die.
YouTube has the worst chat community.
DC Fandom, I said this for our DC Fandom episode. They had like a little conversation with Milestone Comics, which are like, it's a comic label that is partly under DC that like focuses on black characters, and like Milestone Comics is putting out fucking bangers.
But then when they showed up in the chat, there was like a bunch of people saying the N-word.
It was all racist shit.
Yeah, since Twitch has like that's the thing is YouTube doesn't have auto mods.
Of course not.
Where Twitch does, where like you can't say the N-word.
Yep.
Or like other things, or like also you can set up the mod yourself to not allow the N-word to show up or whatever on Twitch. But like.
It's
obviously it gets around it when you spell N space I space. You get where I'm going with this. Like if you don't spell the word properly. So after that, Pete Hines shows up. Pete Hines is like the new Todd Howard for Bethesda.
Yeah. He's the Bethesda, like Pete Hines is the guy in charge of Bethesda.
Todd Howard
is the guy who does like hey, I make Fallout and Elder Scrolls.
Pete Hines is
yeah, he's the Phil Spencer.
He's Phil Spencer, where he's like the business guy.
Yeah,
or he's
Pete Hines.
He's
feels
Iwata.
like a real person.
Exactly. Yeah, he's like.
I think he does. Like, and I don't know if that means he is, but he's good at feeling like a real human person.
I think we're getting really close to the point in gaming, like personalities and shit. Is one, I remember Pete Hines' name now.
Yeah.
Like, but there, it's like Kevin, the VP of fucking Sony, like those old commercials we used to get.
Yo, love
but
that
like
guy.
that was satirical and a joke. But now real VPs of companies are showing up to do things like that.
Yeah.
Like Pete Hines was walking around just a field talking about the games they're working on, doesn't announce anything, gives out a bunch of free codes for shit, and then makes another Skyrim joke, and I laughed at it, and he fucking leaves. Yeah. It's literally like, it's the Chad meme of what the Pete Hines' face where it's like, shows up at the Game Awards, announces nothing, says, brings up Skyrim again, fucks off.
Yeah, and that was good. I did have a little giggle at that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, we've run out of things to release Skyrim on. Mm-hmm. But they already did that bit once before, and it was funnier the first time, and it was even less funny when they did bad shit after that.
That was a good E3 for Bethesda
that year. E3 where they did the bit where they put Skyrim on Alexa was funny.
Skyrim on Alexa and Skyrim on the
smart fridge.
On the smart fridge. I think it was like...
Was funny. Like, that was really funny.
What I fucking hated, though, was everyone hated that year for Bethesda. Like, people were talking
there was bad shit in that year.
But we got Andrew WK to come up to do a performance where, like, no one understood who the fuck Andrew WK is.
So that's fun, ironically, but most of those people did not like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like that. They were like, why is this fucking guy here? And it's like, oh, because this song, I guess, is in Rage 2.
Yeah, it was. Or
you remember like Rage 2? Wow.
Remember a game that launched with no fucking, like, anti-piracy, so everyone stole it? Mm-hmm. Same with Doom Eternal. Then there was a Final Fantasy... Oh, I kept calling... I kept calling this free Final Fantasy Diablo. It's called Lost Ark. It's been around for a while. It's just coming out of early access now. And then Wonder Woman game. Yeah. By Monolith.
Yeah, so it's just probably going to be like a reskin of Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, but it'll probably still be good because both those games are good.
Yeah. To have like be like if it's like an open world game where you can do big jumps as Wonder Woman and shit.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be good.
If it feels like Wonder Woman but like actually strong and not just like Wonder Woman but she's like slow and can't jump very high and it's just actually a Shadow of Mordor, which is a fucking Assassin's Creed clone.
I think it's going to be similar because sword.
Yeah.
But I also want a block bullet with armband. And here's the thing, like it can be Shadow of Mordor. Give me a good story and good acting with Wonder Woman.
Also, let me feel like I'm strong as Wonder Woman. Let me run around really quickly. Let me jump really high.
Invisible jet.
Not that necessary to me.
I'm into it though.
Let me when you fast travel, it's the
invisible jet. Yeah. That'd be cool. Like I don't know. Yeah. I hope it's good. I think it's likely going to be good. I think it's. If I had to go like, what's my confidence in announced superhero games? I'm gonna be like, that fucking Wolverine game, which we've seen just as nothing of as this. Yeah, I'm assuming the Wolverine game will be better than this
because we already know
it's Insomniac and it's Sony.
Insomniac only makes bangers now. Yeah, actually, Insomniac has only ever made bangers.
Fuse.
Also, there's some bad Ratchet and Clank games.
Yeah, all for one.
Yeah.
Fuse was the first thing that came to my mind.
And then we finally, after, that was like 20 minutes of no awards. Yeah. We finally got an award. Yeah. They did Best Voice Actor of the Year. Which you could tell it's not a huge category because they haven't separated into actors and actresses.
And they gave it to Lady Demontress.
They gave it to Maggie Robertson.
Good for her. She was so happy. She looked great.
Oh my god.
She seemed legit happy. I think, again, the Game Awards, the reason why it's not a great award show is because A, it doesn't spend most of its time being an award show. It's an advertisement. And B, it's mostly awards being given to people who don't give a shit about getting awards. But performances...
Maggie Robertson and man who won Game of the Year, like, or like the two people who were super happy to get that reward.
And so that made me feel happy.
Yeah. And then Doug Bowser was just like, we deserve this, thank you.
Yeah.
So then we got back to trailers, obviously. And we got a big new trailer. They're making Alan Wake 2.
Yes, that looks sick.
Like 10 years later.
Yeah, and
that was a real-ass man.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, there is some live-action footage in there.
Yeah, but they had the actor show up like right afterwards as well. But that was like there was one render that was like close up on his face. I'm like, I can tell it's a video game, but
it looks like a real fucking person.
Man.
I'm really hyped for that. That looks cool. I like Alan Wake 1 a lot. I think it's like kind of an underrated game, but I'm glad like the success of Control and shit like that like has allowed Remedy to be able to make that game.
I think you know what after this part like Final
Fantasy 14 won.
After Maggie Robertson fucking got her award, it was like Alan Wake 2, Sonic 2 trailer with Ben Schwartz like being like, I'm a gamer as well, guys, and then Jim Carrey choking out his camera doing a Scottish accent.
I did not get the bit he was doing.
I don't get it either, but it was just like, this is Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, get vaccinated, you fucking weirdo.
That trailer
looks surprisingly
really
good.
Funny, yeah.
Did you see the thing I sent you?
No, what'd you send?
Maybe I didn't send it to you, but it was like a picture of Idris Elba sitting in front of promotion for Sonic 2, and it says like, no, I forgot to send it to you. Shit. It says like, now unlike Sonic, Knuckles doesn't chuckle, but the real question is why.
Then we got the Horizon 2 trailer where they were like using some He Legend gameplay.
Yep.
Then they had a woman just like, don't know what that kind of singing is.
What, for Cuphead?
No. Oh, did I miss Cuphead? No, I did not. Cuphead's coming up later.
Okay.
There is no. It's like they pulled out and there was like an orchestra and there was like a woman singing and it was very like, you know how like Yoko Taro vibes.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember the guy who does the music.
Kiichi Okabe.
Yeah, Kiichi Okabe. The way he does
and
music.
Emmy Evans does a lot of the singing.
Yeah.
Yep. And she created the fake language in the singing.
Nice.
Because she's a fucking genius.
Mm-hmm. It sounds good. It looks good. Mm-hmm. Honestly, Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is a big... I can't wait for it. Especially, I think that's coming out... Is it coming out in February?
It's coming out in the next small handful of months. It's pretty close.
Well, my February has cleared the fuck up now, so I got a lot of time. Just Saints Row got...
We saw more Saints Row.
Yeah, that coming up.
Okay.
Ff7 coming to PC.
That's cool.
I was literally watching it and like I don't know anything about Integrate and I didn't finish Ff7, so I'm like, maybe this could... What if this is an announcement for Ff7 2?
It's not. You could like tell by how much gameplay there was.
Yeah. That should have actually set me off.
Because the trailer for Ff7 2 is going to be like a really cool cinematic trailer with lots of great music.
And then there was the thing I hated the most in the night.
What was it? Did you get jump scared?
No.
Oh.
Lil Dicky showed up.
Oh, I don't dislike Lil Dicky. He has a good TV show.
It's all right. I think I saw someone call Little Dave fucking Atlanta for white people.
Well, Atlanta for Jews, at least.
But the joke is that Lil Dicky is there, and the
other guy who's also a rapper.
He's a rapper in real life, and he's also a rapper in Dave.
Yep.
That they were there to do like
it was like a meta thing where they were doing a bit.
It was a pitch meeting from Microsoft, and then the other guy was just like, "Why don't we just like?"
And then they cut. They're like, "And we'll add gamers like from 100 Thieves," and they cut over to like the two least cool people in 100 Thieves.
Yeah,
and I'm like, you couldn't get Tina for this.
You also couldn't even get like Will Neff.
You couldn't get Ray.
Yeah, but even if like you wanted to get like smaller but still like new, like Will Neff joined 100 Thieves like a few months ago.
Yeah.
It's like, just get someone in that I recognize.
Foosley, who is up for Content Creator of the Year, is in 100 Thieves.
Didn't win it. Fuck Dream.
Yeah.
I like the punchline of the bit, though.
It's a good bit.
Where, like, they're like, wait, are you really going to be in this whole advertisement
and not rap?
Once? And he just goes like,
if I can get away with it.
And then
he got away with it.
Yeah.
It was, like, kind of funny, whatever. Yeah. You know, Microsoft's trying to appeal to young people now.
Then they did a thing with e-athletes. Stop reminding me how young they are. And then we got Simu Liu to do an award.
Do a bit.
It wasn't a good bit.
Yeah, it's fine. Listen, he got to cut a check for that.
Yeah. I'm sure someone else wrote the bit.
Yeah.
And they just like threw it at him.
I also think he probably does enjoy Halo.
He probably does.
That seems reasonable. That seems like the kind of thing Simu Liu would like, is Halo.
Yeah, then Returnal 1.
Good for Returnal.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's probably the best action game that came out in 2021. That's like an action game.
Yeah, sure.
Like Lost Judgment isn't really an action game.
Destiny 2 put out like a trailer that had like real life people in it or whatever.
Yeah, that was weird.
And I walked away to go to the bathroom because I fucking hate Destiny 2.
And then you came back and the trailer was still going because it's the longest trailer in the fucking world.
And then I explained to Stevie how there was a really cool mechanic that they were adding to the Witch Queen, and that was honestly made me think about buying it. And then I found out they were removing the entire Forsaken expansion, and I was like, never mind, I fucking hate this game again. So,
cool.
And then we got Slitterhead.
Slitterhead!
Silent Hill, the guy
who created Silent Hill 1. It's his new game. It looks a lot more actiony and goofy, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because he's also the creator of Gravity Rush.
It's like, what is this game actually? But it's like...
it's Gravity Rush Silent Hill. It combines the tones of these two games.
What if it's like Parasite?
That's awesome.
Like, not the movie Parasite.
The
anime,
manga.
Parasite
An
the
anime.
Maxim.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like you get to play as a guy who ingests like
it looks fucking cool, dude. Like I was like, this looks sick.
Oh yeah, no, I really wrote Slitterhead looks fucking crazy in a good way.
Yeah.
And then we got a new survival game called Nightingale.
Oh yeah, that looked kind of neat. The one where they're going through Stargates, right?
Yeah, but like you're in Victorian era clothing, but there's like no reasonable justification other than I'm sure the designer was like, I love it. Yeah, oh yeah, that. There we go. It didn't look very steampunky though.
No,
because Victorian era steampunk is Victorian era clothing, but there's cogs everywhere.
Yeah, like the Order 1886.
Yeah,
is the steampunkiest thing ever that nobody fucking purchased.
There was an ad for the Lady Gaga pack for Beat Saber.
That was so weird. That was so weird because they did a bit where they're like women in gaming, and then like it abruptly cut. Like all of those ads abruptly cut because you can tell they re-edited them to take up less time so that they could show more ads, which is again like an extremely cynical choice for all these like, hey, we care about social issues bits.
You want to know what I think is extremely cynical, but I believe it's going to happen one day?
What?
I think Beat Saber is going to remove from Steam.
Why do you think that?
The Beat Saber devs were bought by Facebook a few years ago now, and that's when the game really started to change up how it works. And they were trying to like remove the custom songs mod all the time. They still are. Like every single time I load that game, there's a new update trying to break custom songs.
That sucks.
Yeah, so that's fucking sucks. But whatever. That's just me being cynical about Facebook. Then they had a Lord of the Rings Gollum stealth adventure game or whatever.
This game was announced ages ago.
And like, why did they make him like? It looks like they tried to make him look cute.
It's like I was like, they tried to make Gollum look like he's in a mobile game.
All right, I will start. I don't know what Somerville was. It was something cute. Cuphead musical performance. DLC looks fun. I really like that trailer where everyone's puppets.
That was fun, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. I don't like Cuphead, though.
I think Cuphead's really cool, and I'm glad
aesthetically
it's
amazing. I don't like the gameplay.
That's fair. I'm glad people can still be extremely profitable by making a game that's a Contra clone.
Yeah. Sonic of the Wild. Breath of the Sonic.
Yeah. Okay, this
Sonic
is exactly.
Frontiers.
I was gonna say Sonic Frontiers is Breath of the Wild Sonic and / or Nintendo hire this man, but Sonic.
it looks really fucking good.
But it looks cool. Like I'm hyped for it. I'm like
I was joking. I'm like Sonic 06 too.
Yeah, but also like the writer of this game is Ian Flynn, who currently is the writer of the good Sonic comics. So like probably the writing's gonna be good. So we can look forward to that. Next up, we got Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, our first look at gameplay. So it is a third-person shooter.
It looks awesome.
It is a third-person shooter, but it looks cool. I'm really hyped for it.
There's also something called Nightmare Valley.
What was that again?
I can't remember, but it looked cool. We'll check it out and independently after this.
Yeah.
Also, we skipped an award. We skipped 2 awards. Best Art Direction, Deathloop.
Hell yeah.
I think there was better options, but Deathloop is still a good choice.
I think Deathloop's a great choice. Because it has a very, like... it has a really nice art direction.
Dream won Content Creator of the Year. I hate it, but whatever.
I mean, again, like, he's done a lot of great shit, but also he had a big controversy this year. Maybe leave him for next year. I don't know. That seems like
well,
not
by
great.
next year, I'm sure he's going to be like, I already don't hear about Dream anymore.
Yeah.
Like, anytime I hear about Dream, it's someone making a joke about Dream. I don't hear about Dream. I've never actually watched a bit of Dream's content.
I have seen Dream show up in other people's streams that I watch.
I watched like Jay Schlatt play on like the SMP shit.
Oh, which
and that
is
was Dream's stuff, and then Jay Schlatt got kicked off because he wasn't engaging with them. Like
yeah, he wasn't role playing right.
Yeah,
I do hate that when people
best
do that
narrative.
Shit, so.
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, here's the thing with this. I've heard that it's actually got an incredible narrative.
I've also heard that.
So I'm not here to level judgment at that choice. I think it's a pretty fucking messed up indicator when the best written game of the year that isn't Lost Judgment was fucking a Marvel game.
Yeah. I think it's funny, though, because there's only 2 clips I have seen of this game.
Yeah.
It was Critical getting upset that Rocket Raccoon would not shut the fuck up. And he's like, he was just talking to a streamer. He's like, they never stop talking. Yeah. It just keeps going. And then he like sat there for like 4 minutes and they stopped talking. And he took one step and they started talking again. He was like, fucking Christ.
That is funny, though, but it also shows a dedication.
And then also the scene with Drax trying to, like, flirt with the giant lady.
Yeah, which is funny.
Yeah, there's, like, actual good shit in there.
I've heard there's great shit, and apparently your choices come back in, like, a really good way, where the narrative really comes together and forms.
Yeah.
Even, like, the woman who stood up and talked about it is like, yeah, this is a game that's about grief and shit, and I'm like, that's cool.
Suicide Squad kills the Justice League.
Yeah, so
they had a joke where the person playing Amanda Waller comes out
and is pissed off at Jeff Keighley.
Yeah. Also, I did not know that's the woman who was from Star Wars.
Which one?
Most recent one, the Respawn game.
Oh,
yeah. She's in another game as well. She's in like 3 major games right now.
That's great, honestly. And also, like, she was doing the voice, and I'm like, that's fucking Amanda Waller.
She was great. Yeah, I could tell immediately who it was.
And it wasn't like. Other times when they do that, it's really silly.
You know what makes this game better than the Guardians of the Galaxy game, though?
People say the fuck word in it.
Not only that, you can actually play as more than just the main character.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, you get to play as everyone.
Yeah, I think only playing as Star-Lord is a shitty thing, but Guardians of the Galaxy.
Honestly,
but I've heard the game's great.
I'm either going to play as Captain Boomerang or Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Captain Boomerang looks like he has like really fun like
teleport weird
around
shit.
The battlefield stuff. Harley Quinn is just Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
got to stare at that ass.
I don't know if it's like co-op online multiplayer, then maybe we'll play together and like
we'll have to flip a coin.
Or I would probably just, if you were like, oh, I'll play as Harley, I'd be like, oh, I'll play as
Harley, but then I'll like pose for you sometimes.
Yeah, and I would be like, I'm gonna play as Deadshot then, because Deadshot's also cool.
Yeah, they were all cool. It looks like all of them look fun to play.
All 4 of them look fun. Do you think any of them die during the course of the story?
Probably not, because I think it's gonna be a Borderlands-esque game where you have to play through the whole thing with, especially if it is co-op. I think it would be probably end up being like a Borderlands thing, where you play through the whole game.
You don't think like you'd switch characters at any point?
You switch characters and it's a single player game, fine. But if it's like you can switch characters in the middle of battle, I don't like it. Because then that implies there's going to be sections where it's like, oh, only this person can handle it, or you need this person's ability and shit.
But that's fun to have in a game with a story like that.
Maybe. So,
I want there to be guest characters that you play as even.
The woman there's in Suicide Squad. I think we speculated that she's also the queen in Forspoken.
She could be.
Which they showed right after.
Forspoken! Game still looks great.
Yeah, it still looks good. Showed off another Warhammer game.
Oh, whatever. No! Warhammer Space Marine 2. It's a long-awaited sequel to the fucking God of War clone one.
They did. Okay, yeah, that was the one that was like actually kind of hyped. The other one was like, oh, more Vermintide, whatever.
Yeah, Vermintide's cool too. It's like Left 4 Dead, but with rats.
And then we now have the first proper gameplay trailer for Saints Row. Reboot. Yep. The gameplay looks like classic Saints Row.
It looks like Saints Row.
It looks silly. It looks goofy. They showed that you can have it. There is a big character customization aspect to the game.
They did announce it. Remember before you were like, oh yeah, you just play as this like one main character. And I'm like, no, there's a character customizer. They just decided to have her be like the big showcase for some reason.
Yeah, they should have.
I'm probably going to play as her. Like, I'm probably going to play as with her voice because her voice is good in that trailer that she was in.
Unless there's like a breakout, like other.
Unless it's like, or you can play as
Laura Bailey again.
or you could play as Xander Mobus or like some like really fucking.
Yeah, that's the problem I have when I go play through Saints Row and Saints Row 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Like, man, I love to just make a really hot chick, and Laura Bailey's voice is phenomenal.
Yep.
But goddamn, do I love Troy Baker's version of the boss more.
Also, just the fact that there's a Nolan North option is funny.
The Nolan North option is funny, but I don't pick it because it's only in 4.
Yeah, I did pick it. I've said it before. I did pick it, and there's some really good jokes that are only in that version. Including a bit where it's like, you've gotta figure out who you are or whatever, and it's like, you gotta remember you. He's like, me, Nolan. It's such a good bit.
And then there was a Fall Guys trailer, whatever.
Yeah, that fucking confused me for a minute. I was like, why is it Nightmare Before Christmas? Like, what the fuck is this? So then I was like, man, it's fucked up that Nightmare Before Christmas and 2B are in the same fucking video game. And then I was like, they could just both simply be in the next Kingdom Hearts, Nathan. Yeah. It's not that weird. And I'm like, fuck. I guess that's true.
Metroid Dread won Best Action Adventure.
I think that is also a good choice.
That is the best choice.
And then Nintendo came up like, yes, please buy this video game.
Yeah. Doug Bowser is just like, yeah, if Mercury Stream was allowed to be here, they would definitely be accepting the award, but they can't because they're in Spain. So see you guys later.
Doug Bowser was like, hey.
I'm Doug Bowser. I'll see you later.
Hey, it's fucking Metroid. It deserved it, motherfuckers.
Yeah, Metroid game fucking slaps.
It's good.
Maybe the true overlords at Nintendo should be giving more money to the other series that aren't fucking Zelda or Mario, and maybe let other devs have their hand at making,
or like keep making Zeldas and Marios, because the last couple have been good for both series, but like also make
if
other
you're not
things.
going to, like, just like with Mercury Steam, where it's like, if you don't have the fucking resources to develop in-house, let someone else do it. Give someone a fucking F-Zero game.
Yeah, give anyone that.
Yeah, like, fuck it. No one else is doing it. Let fucking Masahiro Sakurai make another Kid Icarus.
Yeah,
and that doesn't destroy your hands.
Yeah. Or just put Kid Icarus on a controller that doesn't destroy your hands.
Yeah,
because the problem with that game is the shape of the 3DS being like that, and your hand being on that and being like, oh.
Then they showed that there's going to be a Doom game. Dune.
Yes, another
RTS.
Another RTS, because there's a classic. There was a classic series of Dune RTSs in the 90s that were big deals for a lot of the people.
So then after that we got Celeb Cringe, starring Will Arnett.
I didn't think it was that cringe.
I think that
I've seen cringier. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
I've seen so much cringier that I was like, I believe that both of these people are saying this.
Yeah, I like both of them enough that I'm like, it is Celeb Cringe.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean I didn't like it.
Okay, because I felt the same way about the Simu Liu thing, where I was like, it's not that cringe. It was fine. He's hot enough to get away with it.
So Borderlands, Tiny Tina's whatever, Borderlands 2.5
looks fine.
It looks like there's only 3 characters now.
Just 4, isn't there?
No, because I thought Will Arnett was going to be the 4th, but Will Arnett's the bad guy. So unless Tiny Tina's a playable character, all we have is...
she's the DM.
Yeah, so all we have is Andy Samberg's character, Wanda Sykes, and a 3rd character that I don't know who voices.
I thought there was 4 that we've already seen.
I don't think so.
I just think they're not voiced by famous people. I think they're video game voice actors.
Would be better than
I think Wanda Sykes is awesome.
I just said Andy Samberg. I didn't say Wanda Sykes.
Yeah. Andy Samberg's fine. I don't really want to play as Andy Samberg in a shooting game, but playing as Wanda Sykes in a shooting game sounds fun.
Then we got the funniest trailer in the whole fucking night.
I forget, and then you're going to tell me.
Among Us VR.
Did you get jump scared? Because I got fucking jump scared.
I just thought it was so funny. I was like,
what the fuck is this?
I was like, what is this? And like this weird fucking color palette, and then I hear the Among Us like keypad noises, and then you just hear he just runs at you. And I started laughing really hard.
I legit went, ugh. And I watched, and I felt bad about it. And then I watched a clip of Penny Parker.
Yeah,
and she screamed.
It was so funny.
And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm not an idiot for getting jump scared by that, because it scared the fuck out of me.
I love Penny.
She's great.
Her game videos of her playing through Halo are just hilarious.
Yeah, I haven't watched them yet.
She's only played through like Halo 1 and 2, so it won't spoil anything for you. Dokuvi had a music video.
Yeah, that was fine.
Yeah, they announced a new Genshin Impact character.
Yep.
Also, when Genshin Impact won an award or something,
so yeah,
Ariel Powers called it Genshin Impact, and that was trending on Twitter.
I think we collectively as a nation can forgive her.
Absolutely, because it's funny.
Also, like, straight up, if you had to open a card and see some shit you've never heard of.
Yeah.
It's no Adele Dazeem.
Yeah. Something called Steel Rising. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
I don't remember either. Then there was a game called Metal Hellsinger, which just looked like BPM.
Well, Metal Hellsinger was announced ages ago, and it's just another boomer shooter.
Boomer shooter?
Yeah, like Doom.
Oh yeah, but that's exactly what BPM is as well, with the same idea of that you do moves on beat.
Oh, but this is more like Metal Hellsinger isn't moves on beat. It's DMC5. It's being more good gets more music.
But then why did they have the thing coming in? Like, there's a rhythm aspect to the game. The way you get your score up is by doing things on rhythm.
Oh,
which is how BPM works
on screen as well.
Yeah, Star Trek game. Who cares? Reggie showed up. Thank God.
I don't care about Reggie.
I love Reggie.
I mean, like, I like Reggie, but he's not even doing anything anymore.
Yeah, he's not. I wonder how he's going as that CEO of GameStop.
He's not anymore.
Or well, yeah, he like gave up like really quickly on that.
Yeah.
FF14 won best ongoing game. Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, out of all of those, we agreed last week. Yeah, it's probably the best one.
Yeah.
I said if not that, then give it to Apex. Otherwise, it's a fucking bullshit category.
Mm-hmm. Then there's a game called Rumbleverse, made by Epic.
It's a Fortnite clone.
Yeah, it's a Fortnite clone produced by Epic, though, which is weird. And you know what I noticed?
What?
That fucking horse mask is in the game. That's only a thing brought on. Like, that was a big meme
8 years ago?
Yeah, but now it's like only brought up in like trailers for stuff. Like, the horse mask thing is like dead to the world.
Yeah.
But corporations are like, people love the horse mask. And it's like, no.
Mm-hmm. People loved the horse mask in 2013. When it was like a big thing.
Yeah.
And arguably until 2016. But it's now not a thing anymore.
Yeah. Then we got Plague Tale Requiem, which is Rat Game 2.
Yep.
Then we got Dying Light 2 Dying Light 2. The trailer looked pretty good.
Yeah, this was a cool CG trailer, and I'm like glad. So I like CG trailers, but like we've seen gameplay for Dying Light 2, so like I wasn't pissed off that this was only a CG trailer.
Yeah, I was fine with that. I hated the song.
I thought it was fine.
I just hate remakes of songs.
It was an inoffensive cover. It wasn't even like that. Like it's a much slower, sadder cover. It's like. It's about the same.
I'm skipping something, but
remakes of songs, by the way, are called covers. Yeah.
Fortnite added the most annoying feature with their Chapter 3 coming out, is that you now get a campsite that you can put out between levels, and you can put items in so that when you land in the next like game, you can pull that item out.
But they also added web swinging, so
it's funny that they did that, and it's better than the Avengers web swinging. But like, I just think that's so dumb. It's like, Blake at the time joined like me and Stevie watching.
Yeah.
And he just kind of, and I just explained to him like, Blake, that's like if you got a gold R301 in Apex Legends, and then was able to start the next game with the gold R301.
But you don't start it. You have to find it again at a place that you've already put it.
Yeah, but that just means you remember where it is, and if you put it in a place where no one else goes, you're gonna find it pretty easily.
Yeah, but when you get fucked over by the thing closing,
you just spawn there.
You don't spawn in.
Yeah, you drop in.
Yeah,
you can drop in that same
Yeah,
spot.
where we drop in, boys. So you have to drop in though. You have to find it and get there and not get shot.
But you remember where the position is because you placed it.
Yes, but if it's so far out of the way, the ring closing is going to kill you.
The beginning rings in Fortnite and in Apex take about 4 to 5 minutes to close. And when you're leaving the bang bus or whatever the fuck, the battle bus,
yeah,
you can literally glide across the entire map to get wherever you need to go. It doesn't matter which pathway it's coming through, you'll always be able to get to that before the ring gets to it.
Yeah, but it's just, you know,
still, it kind of sucks.
It's like whatever.
There was an Imagine Dragon show, whatever.
But they played the parts of the Imagine Dragon song that was actually a celebration of songs from Bastion. Great.
Yeah, it was all right. Forza Horizon 5 won Best Accessibility.
Yeah,
sure,
that's fine. They have a fucking they have a sign language interpreter.
Yeah,
in the game.
Stopped like paying attention like super hard at this point.
Yeah, so did everybody.
There's a Halo show. Sure.
Halo TV show. Who asked for this?
A ton of people 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago, actually. Like when Halo 3 was out, people were like, Neil Blomkamp or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that would have been cool because Neil Blomkamp made fucking District 9. What is this? Who's this for?
Best game direction, Deathloop.
Fine.
Then Quick Games, League won Best Esports. It Takes Two won for Best Family. Guilty Gear Strive won for Best Fighting.
Of course.
Was the best, most deserved.
Near Replicant won Best Music. Yeah. Most deserved award of the fucking night.
Yeah. There was a new Elden Ring trailer where the pot friend showed up, and that was really
so
funny.
Weird.
It was like it's like.
So as somebody who plays none of these games,
that's a new character. As
somebody who doesn't give a shit about Elden Ring, seeing this pot man come on screen was so fucking weird.
Yeah. Also, that was just the.
Also, no Muppets this year.
Oh yeah.
And honestly,
that's the closest thing we got to a Muppet.
Yeah, and that's
pot friend.
And I would say much worse as a big Muppets fan.
Yes. That is just the opening cutscene of Elden Ring, though. Like the same with like.
You think so?
Yeah, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, they all have.
Like that's similar vibes.
Yeah. It's like I don't remember what that was. It Takes Two won Game of the Year.
And Joseph Fares got to come on stage.
And he
Good
got
for
to say
him.
Fuck the Oscars again.
Yeah, we love him.
Yeah.
We love Joseph Fares. Honestly, he deserves it the most.
He wanted it the most.
He wanted it the most. He cares the most about the Game Awards, and I'm glad he got it.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm Joseph Fares as a whole. I'm really glad that like he's managed to find a niche where he can work at EA and yet make some of the best indie games of fucking the year, multiple years in a row.
I like what he does. I hope he makes a next game that's still co-op, because I think we don't get a lot of co-op games anymore.
Yeah,
but less co-op where it's like you need to have someone to play it with you.
That's what co-op is.
Like a single player co-op game.
You mean you?
Whatever, Nathan.
But I don't know what you mean.
I don't know what I mean. Move out of his niche is what I'm saying, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Blake asked me if I would play it with him, and I just straight up said no.
It Takes Two?
Yeah.
I'd play it with Blake.
I just can't play co-op games with people.
Oh, because you're anal?
Because I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
Because I'm the ultimate gamer.
I definitely agree with one of the two statements you made.
No, it's a meme that's been happening in my Discord recently, because when we were all playing Minecraft, Destiny got like disheartened because she like literally hopped on the server,
and you had already done a million things.
No, it was the same day she hopped on the server. I left my home, that like my secret little base. I'm like, I'm gonna make a house in town, and I made this like giant fucking tower with like a farm around it, and I did that within like 3 hours. And she was like, I can't even fucking figure out how the water works. And then Gavin was just like, do not compare yourself to Ian about video games. You will have a bad time.
I downloaded Minecraft on the Xbox Game Pass store, and I booted it up in a new world just to figure out how to play it. And I'm like punching a tree, and I just see an Enderman walk by, and I just exit the game.
Enderman, you just they're chill. They're little shy boys. You just can't look at them. That's
I just you know what? I'm going to divulge this to you and you alone, and this is a secret, okay? Everybody watching and listening, this is a secret you can't tell anybody. I find Minecraft mobs very scary.
Really?
More so than like other scary things in video games.
There is something like a little.
There's something really creepy about them, and I don't know why. They bother me. And not just the ones that hurt you, like all of them. Like villagers scare the shit out of me to look at.
You should see an illager.
I've seen them. They're also scary to look at.
Actually, you know what's fucked up? They're not called illagers.
The group is illagers.
Oh no, they're called illagers. They should be called pillagers.
No, there's pillagers is a fucking subset.
No, they're all illagers.
No, the Illagers is the name of the group of multiple mobs. Because there's ones that are called pillagers. There's like ones that are fucking witches or whatever the fuck.
Those are just called witches. They're not even actually illagers. They're witches. That's
but they're part of so the illagers is the group name, the collective name of like a few different mobs, right? Because there's also the like creatures that they ride, which are also part of that.
Yeah. I can't remember what they're called.
I forget either.
Assholes.
Yeah.
They do a lot of damage to you.
But the pillagers are the ones that like have spears, and like some of them have bows and arrows, and that's like crossbows or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. There's like a few different mobs, and some of them are called pillagers.
I think they're all called illagers.
They're all illagers, but some...
Not all illagers are pillagers, but
all
all
pillagers are illagers.
Cool. So, weeks? That was the Game Awards.
Or it's like how not all bugs are insects, but all insects are bugs.
Sure.
Because I would refer to a spider as a bug, even though it's an arachnid, not an insect.
And then some asshole will be like, actually...
It is an insect. It is an arachnid.
Yeah, it's an arachnid.
Yeah.
But people are stupid.
That's a bit I learned because people in Spider-Man comics call him an insect. And I'll crush you, insect. And he's like, actually, I'm a fucking arachnid, you little piece of shit.
I fucking owned you, epic style.
That's funny in a children's cartoon.
Yeah. You dumb
in the
motherfucker.
90s.
You stupid prick.
You stupid dipshit,
the fuck
Rhino.
Is wrong with you?
Hey, Rhino, I know you didn't graduate high school, but you're a stupid dipshit for not knowing a spider's an arachnid, you dumb motherfucker.
You stupid cunt.
I know no woman wants to date you because you're stuck in a rhino suit and will be for the rest of your life, you fucking loser. Again, that's why Spider-Man's enemies hate him the most, because he bullies them. But yeah, anyway, speaking of bullying, let's all bully everybody who made the Game Awards. Hideo Kojima was like, hey, I'll be there sometime soon. Not this time. Oh, we saw the trailer for... That's what Nightmare Alley was. It was the fucking Guillermo del Toro movie.
Oh, yeah.
That looked cool.
It did look cool.
That's what it was. It all came back around. We figured it out. Oh, there was a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game.
Oh, yeah. Whatever about that one.
Looks fine. Oh, and the Star Trek Resurgence was a choice-driven game by ex-Telltale Games veterans, which might be cool. Arc Raiders was a third-person PvE, like you shoot at robots game, made by former DICE devs. And Matrix Resurrections and Awakens.
Yeah, and there was also a Matrix game.
Yeah, well, it's not a game. It's a thing that's out that's like a Unreal 5 experience, open world, like minigame collection almost. Like, and it's apparently really cool. I've seen some clips and I'm like, wow, that looks like a cool free experience.
Steve, you played it and finished it in like 20 minutes and then just flew around.
Yeah, it's like, it's not supposed to take a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's supposed to be like a little fun little show off of what Unreal 5 can do. Also, there was recently an interview with Keanu and Carrie-Anne Moss that had a bunch of great clips in it. Including one where Keanu's like, first of all, I love that man. He's awesome. But there was a clip where Keanu's like, man, I wish we could have the fucking metaverse and have it not be a thing created by fucking Facebook, because like it predates Facebook. It's from fucking Snow Crash. Yeah. Which shows, which again, I love Keanu. What a sweet boy.
Yeah. What a king.
And he also was like, in the interview, there was a bit where somebody was like, oh, you know, there was a mod where people were trying to have sex with your character. And he's like, that's fucking awesome. He's like, that's great and cool. And then he's like, but CD Projekt tried to take it down because it was without your approval. And he's like, oh man, like I'm fine with that, whatever. Like it's cool that you could do shit like that. And then Carrie-Anne Moss was like, please do not rip mine out of Matrix Awakens to do that. I am not comfortable with that, but Keanu's fine with it, and that's cool. And that's fine. Like, which I'm like, that's great. Again, don't Ellen Page it and go against people's will, but Keanu is fine with you looting him, so loot him if you would like. Yeah. Fuck Keanu Reeves and Cyberpunk to be a real cyberpunk. Nice. Yeah. God bless. Anyway, let's talk about the weeks real quick. So this week I started playing Final Fantasy 15 or 5, not 15. God, I'm so used to saying 15. Final Fantasy 5 on the Pixel remaster, and man, that game's fun and cool, and I like classic SNES RPGs. And it's got the job system, but there's only 4 playable characters, so you only have the same number of characters and the same characters the whole time. So having to like go back slightly when you max out jobs, which only max out at like level 7 or 8, for jobs is like actually not that painful.
Yeah.
I don't know. Check out the fucking pixel remasters, at least of 4 and 5, and the upcoming FF6 one, at least, if you like classic shit. Like, because 5's cool. 5's like one of the underrated ones for good reasons. A, because it didn't come to North America its first time, and B, because it's like not as good as 4 or 6, because they're just better games with better stories. But yeah, Final Fantasy V is good. There are now humans coming to my home. We're going to try to put them on the pod to fuck around for a second.
Depends on who it is.
Depends on who it is.
Because obviously some people would just say no.
So you want to blast through your things?
I don't see why I have to blast through anything. So I finished Solar Ash.
Great. How do you feel? Is it good?
Are you going to finish it?
I played a little bit more. I will finish it.
Okay. I think it is very... there is things I figured out already.
Yep.
Cuffed jeans. Who could it be? Kyle.
That's what I thought.
Yo. Yeah, no, I finished it. It's good. It's not as good as Hyper Light Drifter.
Yeah.
Like, straight up, that's it.
That's the vibe.
There's a lot of things that I figured out. I did everything. I got 100% completion. Except for finding the... there's like... I found all the suits.
So, do you want to get a mic? Do you want to be on?
I'll watch.
Okay. You are on camera.
You can get when you get all the suits. The last suit is the easiest one to get, which is actually really nice.
Yeah.
Like in the final area, because the passive effect that one has is that you can
be faster.
No, you scan, and it shows where all the other caches are.
Love
So if
shit
you
like
want to
that.
just like blaze to the end of the game,
yeah, you can do that.
you can get that suit pretty easily, and it will tell you where everything is. Like, because I only had a minor problem with like finding 1 or 2 pieces.
See, I've been having a bit more problems, like just because I can't fucking. So yeah, maybe I'll do that and blast through to get that thing.
And then I did all the stories, like the sub stories and shit. There's only 3, so not that big of a deal.
Okay.
One of them really sucks.
Yeah.
The one with the guy who's like, "Oh, go talk to the elders." I hate that one because it, like, with the girl, she gives you hints. It's like, "Oh, he could be in the apartments or whatever," and then you also finish that one in a different location.
Okay, that's what we figured last week.
Yeah, all of them except for the final one. All of them get finished in secondary locations.
I see.
And it's a lot. The ending is really cool. I think the boss fights are just fine. I think there's like one really bad one. There's multiple times where I get pure fucking jank where I'm like just gliding across and then I just get launched 1,000 feet away.
Yeah.
Like I've beaten the game twice now because I went back and I did the speedrun achievement, which is to beat the game in 3 hours. But the nice thing is when you get the 100% suit, it's called the Absolution suit.
Yeah.
It gives you the abilities of every other suit, and you can use it on a new game. Like, you start a new game and you can immediately go use it.
That's great.
So I beat the game in like 2 hours and 15 minutes because I got that suit and I could just ignore everything else.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, probably like a 7 out of 10 game.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. It's got like great visuals. It's like fun.
Oh, the visuals is the best part.
Yeah.
Like every single time you end up in Echo's hand, I'm just like, amazing.
So would you say Zoe Quinn and feminists ruined this video game because it's not as good as the last one?
I think Zoe Quinn definitely didn't do it hurt with the writing. The writing,
she did fine.
Bad.
Like it's
fine.
Like to go out from the bit here. I think I follow Zoe Quinn on Twitter. She's great.
I don't.
I think she's great. She definitely did not deserve fucking Gamergate to happen, and it's fucked up how like someone lying about their ex-girlfriend ended up like indirectly leading to Donald Trump becoming president. Like there is a straight fucking line.
Oh no, it's that fun domino meme where it's like the really small one where it's like girl makes mediocre video game too.
No,
fascism is on the rise again.
Guy makes up rumor about his girlfriend cheating on him. Global fascism.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you want to talk
about? Comics are great. I don't want to have to go through all of them right now.
You want to just do
let's do the single issues.
Should really start putting them on the table next to you.
I usually do, but now this time I forgot. Ugh. So what up? We got issue 2 of What's the Furthest Place from Here. This is the book about like a dystopian future where it's all teens and no adults.
Jimmy Neutron?
Sure.
So that was the plot of the first movie.
Was it?
All the adults get like taken away.
It's like that, but like we're in the point where society does not know what adults are type deal, which is interesting. Good Asian issue 7. We finally figured out who the murderer is. We got a couple issues left of the mystery. Seems cool. Crossover issue 10. Love this fucking book. This issue is basically all talking, and it's awesome. It's like one of the best. And finally we get the reveal, the meta reveal where it's like, you know, because this is a comic about a bunch of comic books coming into the real world.
Yeah.
And like comic creators at certain points, including in this issue, meet their creations. And so there's a bit where it's like, you know, the Brian Michael Bendis is talking to the main character from Powers and is like, but I'm not writing this, so like what the fuck's going on? And it's like, wait a second, there's only one dumb motherfucker who is just gonna rip everyone else off to make his own dumb thing, and that's Donnie fucking Cates. And then we cut to like the person that the government's been holding like in a cell with like long hair, writing the script for the book, knowing what's gonna happen. And it's Donnie Cates, the writer of the book, which is great. I love that bullshit. I know some people are like, this is so far up its own ass, it's not cool. But I disagree. I love shit that's like that.
People like Kyle.
Devil's Reign. This is the big Marvel crossover that is spinning out of the pages of Daredevil. Mayor Wilson Fisk has made it illegal to be a superhero. And so all the superheroes have to fight against, you know, fascism. It's great. We love it.
Yeah.
Dark Knights of Steel issue 2. This is the alternate universe fantasy DC universe thing. It's great. So in this issue, at the end of the last issue, the Green Arrow uses a kryptonite arrow to kill Jor-El, who is the king of the area that is controlled by, like, you know, like there's a whole, it's like there are castles. Essentially, there are 2 kingdoms that we know of. One of them is run by the Elves. Yeah. By, like, you know, Superman's real parents, who are like the king and queen of that area. And there's another kingdom which is run by Black Lightning. And one of the, essentially, Green Arrow works for Black Lightning and kills Superman's dad at the end of last issue. And in this issue, Supergirl, who in this case is Superman's sister, who is living on Themyscira and dating Wonder Woman.
Oh, damn, gay.
Finds out and flies to fucking Jefferson Pierce's castle and kills one of his kids because he killed her dad. So you know, that's probably gonna make a big war happen. Ooh. Gonna be a cool book, man. World of Krypton #1 I thought would be cool, but it's dog shit. It's really lame. Do you care about Superman's parents like being the top of society and having people not like them and try to usurp them, including an unknown brother to the L's whose name is Cruel?
DeVille?
No, it's Cruel. There's a character whose name is literally Cruel. It's stupid.
That's bad.
Yeah. Arkham City, The Order of the World. This is issue 3 of 6. This book, still slapping, still being a weird psychological horror type deal. Awesome. Hardware, season 1, number 3. Still really fun book. Great. One Star Squadron, #1. This book's fucking great. Yeah. So, One Star Squadron is about an agency of superheroes that offer Superman level service at bizarro prices. And it's run by Red Tornado and like a bunch of other like kind of C and D listers, including Power Girl. And it's like a weird bit on like the gig economy and like fucking entrepreneurship and shit. It's great. It's really fun, and it's also got like some really good like actual drama in it. That's cool. Like Red Tornado has this bit where he's like talking about like, why'd you become a hero? And like he talks about like meeting Superman, or you see flashbacks, and then he has this like series of great lines where it's like, to be honest, I don't even remember why I became a hero. Maybe I thought I was going to be the next Superman. Maybe it's just what you do when you're an android who can control the weather. Or maybe I was young and stupid enough to imagine I could change the world, not yet understanding that it's always the world that changes you. And then the person he's talking to is like, whatever, I'm taking your fries.
That's stupid.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's like actually good. It's written by Mark Russell, who did that great Flintstones comic that also is really funny, and then has like bits that are like, we participated in a genocide, Barney, and it works.
Yeah.
And finally, we got the annual for Superman Son of Kal-El, which this has an even better joke that I'm going to read to you, Ian. So this essentially reintroduces Lex Luthor into this new dynamic where it's Superman's kid who's Superman, right? And there's a great moment in here. So essentially Luthor is like coming back into the game and builds a brand new building in Metropolis with a big LexCorp sign on top in big letters, where the shadow of the letters are hitting the Daily Planet, and that's on purpose because he's a petty motherfucker. That's his whole bit. But he gets attacked and included at this new building, and some of the letters be falling off. Him and Superman fight off the attackers, and then they continue a game of chess that the previous Superman and Lex had started and not finished. But Superman beats Lex at chess because on the way he read a bunch of books about chess and Lex's history playing chess.
Yeah. Because
he's got super fast reading. And there's a whole bit where they're like having a big conversation. It's great. And, you know, Superman wins, so he kind of gets his own way. And he flies away, and Lex is like, what a little shit. And then Superman comes back, and he's like, oh, Luthor. And he's holding the L from the sign. Yeah. And he's like, you should take this L. Which is great. Yeah. It's a legitimately funny joke. God bless this book. It's fucking awesome. But Superman's bisexual.
Superman's bi-son.
Yeah.
So Halo Infinite came out.
Yeah.
I played through.
Apparently the first story mode mission sucks balls.
It's not great. But the rest of the game is really good.
That's great.
And it's awesome. And it's the most human Master Chief has ever been. And I know, in previous Halo games, not very human at all.
No. I would argue he's a non-character even.
In this one, he's a character. He has actual...
How bold.
Steve Downes still is not the most emotive voice actor, but he's still like... You can feel like tenderness in his voice when he's talking to like Echo 216.
Wow, Cortana, you did it.
He talks about his failures and how he has regrets in his life and all that. And I don't know what the fuck is up. The trailers in this game are like God of War PS4 trailers, where like there's no cuts.
Oh, so, you mean the cutscenes, like the...
Yeah, so it'll be like you'll walk into a room and like your guns will lower and you'll walk forward slightly, but then the camera will pull out and it's like, oh, you are no longer in chief vision. You are now like the camera will move around.
That's cool.
The area, and then it'll be like it'll hold on, and then the weapon will be like inside of something, and you'll like hold on to that. Like on that focus, and then Chief will like start walking around the room and stuff. Like they do really interesting cinematics.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it's got a really good vibe. The open world stuff feels really tacked on. Like it feels like the game...
It doesn't feel necessary.
It feels like the game was like the reason why they went through so many delays is that they were like developing the world, and then someone was just like, man, a lot of these levels are feeling fucking the same.
Yeah.
Why don't we go and make them like a big open world and give you like options and shit?
Yeah.
To like how to engage things. Because a lot of the stuff, there's like 5 story missions, but there's more than that outside of it.
Right.
Like there's one where you have to go attack 4 spires to get the data so the weapon can open up the main spire you have to go to. But then each of those would be like its own level in Halo. but instead it's like, oh, you get to choose how you come at it. You don't have to come down it from this hallway.
Well, that
You can,
reminds
like,
me actually
airdrop.
of that one level in the first Halo, which is the good level, which is the silent cartographer.
Yeah.
Right? Because in that level, there's like 3 bases you have to hit. And
Yeah.
you don't have to hit them in the order that it tells you to.
It's like someone was playing that level and they're like, what if we made the whole game like this?
See, and that's what I wanted from Halo 1, because the rest of Halo 1, other than that level, is pretty shit.
Is a linear shooter.
Yeah, but like
And
not
then
just
Halo 2
linear.
and Halo 3 is
it's an
incredibly-
extremely long linear shooter.
Then Halo 2 and Halo 3 are just linear
Better.
hallways.
Yeah, but like
But they
Halo
tell their
2
story.
is a really good linear hallway that isn't where the levels are
It's
like
a-
the right length.
It's a wider linear hallway.
Right, and it's like I could do a Halo with no open world if all of the levels were like
Yeah.
nice lengths and not really long and not reuse a lot of the same assets over and over and not like just wave after wave of enemies, but
Yeah.
feels like I'm doing something each level, which is what Halo 2 is great about, right? Like there's that one level where you literally walk and then walk back on Earth, and it's like really good because everything that happens like feels exciting and interesting.
Yeah.
Right?
The weapons feel great.
That's
But
great.
they suck in the multiplayer, which sucks. Like
That
guns,
sucks.
weapons like the Sentinel beam. This is the first time it's been back since Halo 3. It wasn't in 4 or 5.
Wow.
Is in the multiplayer, awful. It's the worst gun in the fucking game. In the campaign, amazing.
That's great.
It melts through everything. Like the guns in the campaign feel really good, which then in the multiplayer, it's like use the battle rifle or the assault rifle there. Go fuck yourself. Mm-hmm. The commando is not great, which is like the new gun for this game, and that
Yeah.
kind of sucks. Like you put in all this effort in designing this brand new gun, and it's still low tier. Yeah, campaign's really good. The weapon is a really good character. She's really fun. She's like, what if Cortana was not a cunt? Like it switches
The actress for Cortana is coming back for the TV show.
That's good. John Taylor?
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe the weapon and Cortana are like the same. Like they have the same basis of AI and all that.
Yeah.
It's just that the weapon is more understanding that she is not a person.
But the thing that's fun about Cortana is she has like she's more of a person than Master Chief.
Well, when you meet the weapon, she goes
I know she turns evil in one of the games, but like
4.
that was a
5.
bad choice.
It was. And that was also the ones where it's like Cortana's in love with the chief.
Okay,
then the chief
that's
is,
not
like,
the
in love with
worst
Cortana.
choice in the world.
It's not the worst because especially with like all they go through and like
Yeah.
Cortana is
Also, she's literally the only person he talks to.
yeah, Cortana is like supposed to fucking like not
Yeah.
care for Chief or whatever.
I'm fine with Chief falling in love with his anime body pillow because of course he would. Everyone else he knows is dead.
When the creator of Cortana, who is like also Chief's like science mom, gives him Cortana, she says to him that she will do anything to keep the mission to like for the mission to succeed, even if it means sacrificing you. But then by Halo 3 and 4, that's not true at all. Cortana tries to sacrifice herself to save Chief.
Yeah.
And then I guess she's dead in Infinite.
Did she die?
It happens
in 5?
off. No, she does not. It happens
That's
off screen.
stupid. Why do
But
this shit off
they-
screen?
It's because they needed to get away from Halo 5 because the story was so bad. Because that's when Halo 5 and Halo 4 and 5 when they revealed that the Forerunners were actually ancient humans that just decided to go put the basis for humans on Earth and then let the Flood destroy the rest of the galaxy and not
And not Earth somehow?
not Earth somehow. And then humans, well, no, they fired the Halos, killed everyone, let humans re-evolve, the Covenant evolved and all that. And then the Covenant discovers that humans are actually the chosen species to, like, exist, and that pisses them off, and that's why the war is happening and stuff. But they didn't reveal that the Forerunners were just humans
Yeah.
until, like, Halo 4 and 5, and then the writing went really downhill.
Yeah. So let's wrap this up a bit. Let's talk about Hawkeye episode 4. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did. It's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yelena Belova shows up.
Yeah.
She's great.
What do you mean you're fighting whatever her name is? I'm fighting her out here. No, the fuck you ain't.
Yeah, no, you're fighting Yelena. Continuing to really like Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop. It's really great. Hey, what's up, Blake? We're still doing the podcast. We're almost done. We're just going to spoil Hawkeye episode 4 real quick. I don't remember a lot of the shit that happens right this second, Jack seems like a better guy, but then it turns out he's evil.
Yeah.
What a shocker.
They have like a really awkward dinner scene.
It was
Thanks,
great.
babe.
Um,
I'm just gonna wait actually to open that.
yeah.
Oh my fucking god,
He's just lying down.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
It's a good episode.
We'll talk more about it next week.
Next week we're going to talk more about it, and we're going to talk about episode 5.
Yeah.
Episode 5 is apparently going to be a real doozy, because I think that one's going to show off that character is actually Kingpin.
And also, there was a theory I saw, I think it might have been from Move Zero, that the watch is not Ronin's, and it's not Hawkeye's, it's his wife's.
Yeah,
and that
that's...
she might be
I think the implication is that she's Mockingbird.
Yeah.
Or the first Mockingbird, because Bobby Morse, the real Mockingbird, is on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah,
Or
so
was.
that would be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm. And it'd be better than it being like Tony Stark's watch or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's something... I just feel like that's like a bit of a non-twist, but I think that just might be my brain.
I think it's better than them just saying it's Ronin's watch that has a bunch of
No.
info
I don't
on
want it to be Ronin's, because he said the thing about the undercover person, right?
Yeah.
So like I would
It's
there's
either-
part of me that's like, oh, I hope it's fucking some like Skrull thing or like some weird
Natasha's
thing.
or something.
Well, just somebody that's undercover or like whatever, or maybe even like Yelena's, and like Natasha left that with, whatever, right? At Avengers Compound to track her, but then he thought it got destroyed in Endgame.
Or it was Natasha's to give to Yelena that would like tell her the truth of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something like that, or something like introducing a brand new character. I don't know. But
And
something
he's
interesting.
he's aware that she's a Black Widow, but not aware that she's like, the new Black Widow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to see more of Florence Pugh because she's great.
Yeah.
Blake, did you know that Florence Pugh showed up in the new episode of Hawkeye?
Did you?
Yes, she did.
Wow. I'll watch that one episode.
You should watch all of them because Haley Steinfeld's great as Kate Bishop.
I hate Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's better in this.
This is the best he's ever been.
No, but he's just a douchebag.
No, he is a douchebag, but Haley Steinfeld is so good that she makes up for it.
Possibly.
I would vouch for it, but you don't listen to anything I say.
No.
Yeah. Anyways, wrap it up. So
Anyways,
we
this
can
is the end
actually
of this is the end of our podcast. Thanks so much for watching and/or listening. YouTube.com/NAS Comedy to see the video versions of all of these shows. If you want to follow each of us on our social medias, you can follow me at The Media Hole on Twitter, at The Media Hole on TikTok, at twitch.tv/TheMediaHole, or www.whenyourballs.get-stuck-to-your-leg.tumblr.com. If you want to follow Ian, he is at StrugglesV on pretty much everything, but he recently came under fire because he said that women in the workplace at Activision deserve to be harassed. Thanks so much,
and I
guys.
stand by it.
Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.